Hello everyone, Camilla here from Decodable Readers Australia. Today we're going to have a look at the strategy called pause, prompt, praise. Now this has been around for a long time and sometimes associated with the old methodologies of balanced literacy and whole language approaches. What we're going to do today is have a closer look and see what changes we can make to some of these strategies to make them evidence-based and give those students in front of you the opportunity to use evidence-based methodologies, because ultimately we want our young students to be decoders, and that all comes down to how you prompt when an error is made. So we have a freebie for you today, so download this from our website, our free resources on the Educators tab, and I'll also put the link in this post. So let's start right from the start. Before any strategy is being implemented, it's important that the student or the child is reading a decodable book. These books are written in such a way that they promote the decoding process, using the knowledge of letters and sounds to decode the words. Now, once your student starts reading the words, they may come to a word that they get stuck on, and that's where the pause is really important. Now, I highly encourage that you get your student or your child to use the think aloud strategy. So being able to hear and see what they are doing when they come to that tricky word. Now, hopefully they will be decoding those sounds and blending them together to read the word. And if they're doing this out loud, you'll be able to see whether they're making an error in their letter sound knowledge, or they're not being able to blend correctly, or they just come to a word that they don't know and they need that little bit of time to blend it together. So that pause period is super important. Around 2 to 3 seconds is enough. You don't want to leave it for too long. Now, in this time, I want you to also watch what they're doing. If their eyes are going off the word and onto the picture to try and look for clues elsewhere, we know that that is like a guessing strategy. They're going to look for something to help them guess. So that's where the pause and then the prompts are really important. Once you have a good understanding of the types of strategies that are happening during that pause time, that will help you understand what type of prompts that you'll need. Now, the number one rule is that we always have to get the student decoding that sentence, blending those letters and sounds together to read the word. So if a student is looking away from the word and looking at the picture, trying to find clues up in the picture, that's our prompt to focus back onto the word and help them blend that word. Now, maybe the student is trying to blend, but there's a letter sound correspondence error. That's when we can jump in and help sound out those sounds and then blend it together. Now, maybe they do have the right letters and sounds, but it's the blending process they require further assistance with. Now, this is where the teacher or the parent can help with that process. Depending on the type of error being made, we can model that and do it together. And just remember that the focus is always back on decoding. Now, we have a free poster that you can use to help remind you of that process. Another thing that I like to tell parents and educators, if you're working with the same students over and over, they'll get to know your prompts quite well. And what I like to do, I even use just a pen or a pencil, even the tip, and I point to the sounds and I slide my pen across. I don't even say anything anymore because they know what they have to do when I give that prompt with my pen. So get to a routine where your prompts are the same each time and the student really knows what they have to do. But it's super important that you get them to think aloud when they're decoding so that you can really understand what they know and what they don't, and you can model and help during this process. It's now time for the praise. Instant feedback and being specific is the key. Short, sharp feedback, telling the students what behaviors you really enjoyed watching them do. So for example, I like how you had another go at that word, or I like how you sounded out those sounds and blended them together. Something that you saw that they did well. Now, we could say good job and you're a great reader, but being specific will help them apply that strategy over and over. they really understand what they're doing is right, and then being able to apply it even when the educator is not there. So our praise is just as important as the prompts. So there you have it, the strategy of pause, prompt, praise with a little bit of a twist to make sure that we're prompting our students to become decoders. You can download this freebie as a reminder of how we go about supporting a student to read.